Hey, it's James Lynch back with another review video, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about my favorite mini retro gaming handheld, and that is the Miyoo Mini Flip, the new one that came out last year. I got the Monty Mole sticker on there, but this device is awesome. I use this all the time, and before I tell you about everything about this handheld, make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. I'm trying to do review videos on this channel as much as I can, and your support is greatly appreciated. Okay, like I always do on this channel, I want to talk about why I bought the Miyoo Mini Flip. One of the big appeals for me was the fact that it was so small. I used to have the Anberneck RG35XXSP, which is a much bigger version of this, but the problem was I found it was a little bit too bulky, wasn't really as pocket sized, and I've also really enjoyed using the Miyoo Mini, the original one that came out a number of years ago. I still think this is the best just sort of vertical handheld that you can get out there, but the big appeal with this was the clamshell. As you guys know, I'm a big fan of the clamshells. I got the Retroid Pocket Flip here, which I loved and can't say enough good things about. I did a review video of that here on the channel. So the appeal of this not only was the size of it, but it was also the fact that it's a clamshell and you don't have to worry about the screen getting damaged, which was a huge plus for me as someone who does travel. It's nice to be able to have a screen that I don't have to worry about it getting damaged. Now, if you look at the original Miyoo Mini, very pocketable, but you always have to worry about the screen getting damaged. That was always something that would prevent me from taking it on a bunch of my trips. And when I would take it on my trips, I'll get a little bit nervous. Now, it does come with the case, but look how big this is. This is the case for the Miyoo Mini. All of a sudden, not so mini. If we're looking at the size comparison here, the Miyoo Mini's right here, the Miyoo Flip's right here. You can see it's much smaller. When you actually take it out of its case, you can see it ends up being bigger. But the thickness of this, right? It's much different. The Miyoo Mini is much smaller in that regard. So that's something to keep in mind when you're looking at this. So yeah, that's part of the reason why I bought this, was because I wanted to take something traveling, or if I was on the go and I didn't want it to be too big and bulky. Now this thing can play up to PS1, which is great. So you're not going to be able to play some of those higher end games, but for someone like myself who still enjoys a vast, majority of the 8-bit and 16-bit games, this was right up my alley. Really enjoyed that. Let's talk about the price. I actually think it's very reasonable here. So I paid around $64 American for this. That ends up being around $90 Canadian. I don't think that's too bad for what you're getting with this. Again, if this is an everyday handheld you're going to use, I'm getting my money's worth as far as using it as much as I can. Now, something a bit different I decided to do this time around is I actually bought a preloaded SD card. There's a company, Litnxt, LITNXT, and shout out to TechDweeb, who does a lot of really great videos in this same field. He was the one that recommended this, and I absolutely love it. So it basically is a preloaded SD card, and it's got all the games you need on here. And of course I could do this myself, but it just saves you so much time having to transfer over your games. It has Onion OS built in on this, and it's a very simple interface, and I'll show you that once we actually get into this. So I did an unboxing video on this. I'll show you some of the clips from that, but you can see it does come with its own case, which I never use. It comes with a cable. Pretty easy to use instructions. There's not much to it. It's just the handheld, and it folds open and everything else. Now let's take a look at the Miyoo Mini in action. So it's got recent, favorites, games. It's just a really simple interface here. So you can play all the way up to PS1. Let's go into PS1 right now. I'll kind of show you how it looks on here. You can see here, it plays great. So you can see the sound on here is awesome. Controls are actually fine. I've heard some people complain about this. I haven't had any issues with the controls. It's a very easy interface to use, Onion OS. And the nice thing about this pre-built SD card, it comes with artwork. It has all the games listed. It's super easy to use. And honestly, I use this so much. I use this handheld way more than I did the Miyoo Mini. And it's because it's so small and compact that I bring it everywhere with me. If I have to go pick up my kids from school or I'm at an appointment, this is an easy thing for me to bring because it's not too bulky in my pocket. And like I said, that's the reason why I sold the Anberneck one, was because of the fact I thought it was a little bit too big. This one is the perfect size in my opinion. It's not too small, but it's enough where you can still play your games and you're not squinting at the screen too much. And if you want to see how this looks compared to like a credit card, here's the credit card right here on the screen. Here's the Miyoo Mini. It's going to look a little bit odd there, but you can see not that much bigger than a credit card as far as the the width of it, right? It's the credit card right here. You can see it's a little bit bigger than a credit card. But thick wise, you can obviously see the difference there between a credit card and that. So it is a bit thick, but it's so pocketable. That is a huge plus for me. Like I said, like I'm usually leaving the house with my keys, my phone, and now this, and it just makes things a lot easier. So that's pretty much it. If you want a more technical breakdown of this device as far as the bells and whistles and how to use it a little bit more in depth, I recommend checking out Retro Game Corpse or TechDweeb. They do a really good job when it comes to breaking down the ins and outs of these handhelds. This is just sort of a general review from me, but I love this thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I've heard some people talk about the hinge on here. Yeah, it's a little bit clunky, but I'm not really worried about it. Again, this is my everyday handheld now, and I don't see myself replacing this anytime soon just because it does everything I need it to do. It's got a good screen. It's got great controls. It's just easy to use. And I think if you're just starting out in the retro gaming community and you want to get a handheld, I would actually recommend this just because it's super simple. It's not too expensive, and it gets you kind of right into the, the deep end of retro gaming handhelds. And this for me is going to be one I'm going to be keeping for a while. And you can even put like a sticker like I did with Monty Mole from Mario Brothers there. So yeah, just wanted to mention that. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you're interested in buying one, if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them in the comments. If you do own one, let me know what your feedback's been so far of using this. I've had mine since about December and I have absolutely no complaints. This has exceeded my expectations. I've been super happy with this as my everyday go handheld. Now, obviously for something a bit more high end and when I'm doing more longer trips, that's where the Retroid Pocket Flip comes in. But for everyday use, this is my everyday handheld. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell. My name is James Lynch. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.